Beneath the blazing sun of Kemet, where the great pyramids stand as witnesses to the eternal, a silent descent began. The Savior, known in the hidden scrolls as Protonoia or Seth, did not arrive with the thunder of a conquering pharaoh, but as a whisper in the wind. To bypass the Archons, the jealous cosmic jailers who believed themselves the masters of this golden land, the divine principle assumed many likenesses. Like a shadow flickering across the sandstone, the Savior slipped through the celestial spheres unrecognized. In one moment, the presence appeared as a humble citizen wrapped in simple linen. In another, as a regal figure adorned with gold, masking the blinding light of the pleroma. The Archons, those blind spirits of the lower heavens, felt a disturbance in the fabric of their creation. They heard a voice that resonated like a sistrum in the deep temples, yet they could not find its source. This was the first masterstroke of the divine infiltration, a strategic disguise that allowed the light to walk among the living without alerting the counterfeit powers that sought to enslave the human spirit in a low-resolution reflection of the true majestic reality.
As the sun dipped behind the Sphinx, casting long ochre shadows across the desert floor, the great work of liberation commenced. The Savior, manifesting as Jesus the Living One, moved with a purpose that terrified the 13 aeons. In a metaphysical act of defiance, he spiritually nailed the powers of these archons to the very foundations of their own material prison. This was no ordinary crucifixion. It was the stripping of authority from those who had usurped the throne of the heavens. Imagine the scene. The stars themselves trembling as the Savior drives the spikes of truth through the illusions of the cosmic governors. By binding these entities, the Savior ensured they could no longer seize the souls of the faithful. No longer could the angels of poverty or the demons of chaos claim ownership over the divine spark within the African children of light. This act established a sovereign highway through the stars, a corridor of safety for the immovable race to ascend. The gold of the pharaohs meant nothing compared to this spiritual victory, which shattered the chains of the 13 spheres and prepared the way for the ultimate jailbreak from the cycle of suffering.
Within the hallowed halls of the great temple, where the air is thick with the scent of frankincense and the walls are etched with the wisdom of the ages, the Savior bestowed a gift more precious than the treasures of 1,000 dynasties. This was the armor of knowledge, a spiritual panoply forged in the fires of the pleroma. Each initiate, dressed in fine white linen and adorned with collars of lapis and gold, received the unconquerable power of incorruptibility. This was not a physical shield, but a cognitive fortress against the angels of poverty who sought to drain the soul's vitality. This knowledge functioned as a technical jailbreak, a divine algorithm designed to override the low-resolution simulation of the material world. As the golden hour light filtered through the massive stone columns, the Gnostics learned that their physical bodies were but temporary vessels, and their true essence was light itself. By wearing this armor, they became invisible to the predatory eyes of the Archons. They stood as pillars of fire in a world of shadows, ready to navigate the post-mortem journey with the confidence of gods, knowing that the chains of the demiurge could no longer bind those who possess the gnosis of their own divinity.
To traverse the celestial gates, one must know the secret speech of the stars. The Savior taught the chosen ones the hidden codes and the names of the receivers, those cosmic gatekeepers who guard the boundaries between the spheres. Imagine a Gnostic standing before a massive, shimmering gate in the heart of the desert, the great pyramids glowing like embers in the background. The soul does not tremble, for it carries the renunciations of the 5 seals. By invoking the specific names of authority, the practitioner bypasses the archontic sentries who demand a toll of subservience. This was the breaking of the bond of forgetfulness, the shattering of the counterfeit spirit that kept humanity in a state of spiritual amnesia. As the initiate speaks the sacred syllables, The memory of their divine origins surges back like the annual flooding of the Nile, bringing life to the parched lands of the soul. They wake from the deep sleep of ignorance, revoking their allegiance to the laws of the demiurge. No longer are they citizens of a dying world. They are the immovable race, travelers who hold the keys to the celestial kingdom, moving through the gates of the heavens with the grace of a falcon taking flight.
The journey culminates in the majestic ritual of the 5 seals, a celestial liturgy that restores the soul to its rightful throne. First comes the putting on of robes, where the initiate is clothed in garments of pure light, signifying the restoration of their original divine condition. Then they are immersed in the spring of the water of life, a baptism that washes away the bitter waters of forgetfulness and the stains of the material prison. This is followed by the enthronement and glorification, where the Gnostic is elevated to a status far superior to the Archons who once sought to rule them. In the final, breathtaking stage of the sequence, the rapture occurs. Snatched away by the radiant servants of the luminaries, the soul is carried into the light place of the Father. Here, amidst the eternal brilliance of the pleroma, death is but a distant memory, and the power of the Archons is completely extinguished. Above the great Sphinx, a pillar of light ascends into the heavens, marking the return of the divine spark to its source. The simulation is bypassed, the prison is emptied, and the children of the sun finally return home to the infinite glory from which they first descended.